I want to do a follow-up to my last video on the tendency to wait for a Prince Charming. That video landed with a lot of you, so I want to go a little bit deeper today. This isn't just about relationships, it isn't even just about money. It's about what happens when we outsource safety for too long and how that shows up not only in our choices, but in our bodies. In this video, I'm going to talk about why the Prince Charming pattern sticks around even when it's clearly not working, how your body actually starts signaling when something in your life is out of alignment, what it looks like when you ignore those signals, and then I'll give you one grounded exercise at the end to start shifting out of this pattern without blowing your whole life up overnight. This isn't about shaming yourself, it's about learning to listen earlier. A lot of people think avoidance only shows up in thoughts. It doesn't. It shows up in the body. Most of us are taught to override our physical signals, to push through discomfort, to medicate symptoms, to intellectualize everything, but the body doesn't work like that. When something in your life isn't aligned, especially around money, sex, power, or safety, your body starts trying to get your attention. The part of the body where this shows up most clearly for a lot of women is the reproductive system. That area is deeply connected to how safe you feel, how much agency you have, how you relate to desire, money, and power. This is your sacral chakra. So when those things are out of whack, the body doesn't whisper forever. Eventually, it gets louder. Physical symptoms aren't punishments, they are signals. We've been trained to eliminate the message instead of listening to it. Pills, procedures, distractions, but the body doesn't lie. It will always tell you the truth about what you're tolerating. Another access point to intuition isn't just thoughts, it's sensation. When you move towards something and your body contracts, tightens, feels heavy, anxious, or dark, that's information. When something expands you, even if it scares you, that's information too. Ignoring that data doesn't make it disappear, it just forces it to find another outlet. This is where the Prince Charming pattern quietly does damage. So, the Prince Charming isn't just a man, as I said before. Sometimes it's a relationship you cling to because you don't trust yourself financially. Sometimes it's a job you hate but stay in because it feels stable. Sometimes it's a business partnership that doesn't feel right but feels safer than standing alone. Sometimes it's an inheritance you're waiting for. Sometimes it's a vague idea that something or someone will come along and save you. The right time or a sudden breakthrough. The form changes, the function doesn't. So at the core, it's a belief that you can't fully do this on your own, emotionally, financially, or practically, even if on paper you already are. And here's where things get uncomfortable. Even when you technically have your own money, your own skills, your own resources, your nervous system might still be operating as if you don't. That's how my one was. That's when you see patterns like overattachment, paralysis around decisions, hoarding, avoidance, or staying in dynamics long after they've stopped feeling right. I want to pause here and say this exactly as I mean it. I know that many women totally space out when it comes to money, or they fall to pieces, or they just plain get anxious. I want you to know that I've been in that spot. I had a severe hoarding issue, which was preventing me from enjoying life while I thought I had it all together for years. So, know this, I love you right where you are. I love the part of you that thinks money is boring. I love the part of you that thinks money is too hard for you to understand or to make, save, or invest. I love the part of you that would really, really, really like someone else to do this for you. I love that part of you because I had that part inside me too. And I've learned to love her for her adorable imperfections. she comes back from time to time for a visit because Lord knows this whole financial well-being thing is a journey and I'll probably never be perfect at it. Neither will you, so you might as well let yourself off the hook right now. Um, what actually keeps this pattern alive isn't stupidity or laziness, it's fear mixed with fantasy. There's a cultural myth baked into a lot of us that eventually something will arrive and make everything feel safe. Someone will take care of it, someone will handle it, someone will hold the weight. The problem is that while you're waiting, your energy leaks. Energy leaks into people, situations, and structure that don't make you stronger. And when energy leaks, power drains. Money is just one of the most visible places this shows up because it's tangible. You can see it leaving. You can feel the anxiety around it. You can feel yourself tightening, contracting. And your body notices all of this long before your mind admits it. So for me, while I was in a dynamic I knew wasn't aligned, even though I technically didn't need it, I didn't need a ledge, my body started reacting. I was dealing with recurring pelvic pain and irregular bleeding. I had everything checked medically, nothing was wrong, but the symptoms persisted. When I removed myself from that situation, the symptoms stopped. I'm not saying the body creates symptoms to punish us. I'm saying prolonged stress, suppressed instinct, and lack of agency don't just stay in your head. Around the time I really started feeling uncomfortable staying in that dynamic, but still prolonging my exit, it was almost as if everything around me started reflecting the tension. So the person I was leaning on as my ledge started experiencing serious instability in his business. Like his business was severely underperforming. It felt chaotic, uncertain, like the ground was shifting under both of us. That was the moment I made my exit. I just knew the universe was telling me, get the hell out. Interestingly, once we separated, my health stabilized and his business did too. And his business didn't just stabilize, his business catapulted. That told me something important. When two people are bound through dependency rather than choice, both systems distort. This is why the body matters in conversations about money and relationships. It's the barometer. Your body is the barometer for your truth. It tells you when you're contracted, when you're forcing something, when you're betraying your own instincts for the illusion of safety. The universe has natural ebb and flow, expansion and contraction, giving and receiving. Moving away from an external Prince Charming isn't enough on its own. You also have to move towards something. And this is the part most people avoid this part. When it's hard to let go of something you've been white knuckling, reframing it as moving towards something can help. But the thing you usually need to move toward is the thing you're most afraid of, the conversation you're avoiding, the responsibility you don't feel ready for, the part of your life you've convinced yourself you're bad at. The emotional charge you have around that thing is directly proportional to how much power is sitting on the other side of it. More income, more autonomy, more self-trust, more peace. Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear often means leverage. And before I close, I want to give you something practical. If you have a Prince Charming right now, a person, a situation, a future rescue fantasy, write it down. Then write down all the qualities about that Prince Charming that makes you feel safe, supported, taken care of. Be as detailed as you want. Then look at that list and circle every quality that already exists in you. Even if it's underdeveloped, even if you don't fully trust it yet, circle it anyway. Now, from the qualities you circled, choose two. Ask yourself, what is one concrete action I could take in the next 2 weeks to strengthen each of those qualities in myself? Something specific, something doable. Put it in your calendar. You're not replacing Prince Charming overnight. You're reclaiming pieces of yourself that were outsourced. Your body will tell you when you're moving in the right direction. Expansion, relief, even nervous excitement instead of dread. Learn to listen to that. It's one of your most reliable allies. You don't need to fix your whole life after watching this. I'm planting seeds. That's it. Seeds grow when they are ready. And remember, you've got you. You've got you, even on the days you forget that. Okay? Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to share, like, subscribe because people need me and you guys can help me reach them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sending you love and I will see you in a jiffy.